The alert burst onto phones like a sudden strike of lightning in the dead of night, an urgent call for journalists to gather immediately for a surprise press conference with Eun-jin and Jang Ki-yong. No reason given, no hint of what was coming, just a firm order to be there now. Within minutes, broadcast vans sped through deserted streets, messages flew back and forth with wild speculation, and a single question dominated every conversation. What was happening inside the venue? The atmosphere was thick with tension. The lights were dim, voices stayed low, and camera shutters clicked in cautious bursts. When they finally stepped into view, there were no polished smiles or scripted poses, only a slow, heavy bow. It spoke volumes. This wasn't publicity. This wasn't damage control. This was deeply personal, and it was something they had carried for a long time. Jang Ki-yong approached the microphone first. He let the silence linger, just enough to pull everyone closer, then apologized, not just for the late hour, but for the emotional weight of what they were about to reveal. This wasn't about whispers or tabloid talk. It was about reclaiming something that had quietly slipped out of their hands. Eun-jin spoke next, her voice shaking slightly but filled with resolve. She described life under constant misrepresentation, where false stories outran the truth, where fear crept into everyday routines. She admitted that even opening her phone had begun to feel unsafe. Then came the line that stopped everything. Love was never meant to be owned by the public. Jang Ki-yong nodded, explaining that while they chose to be honest, they never consented to losing their sense of peace. Curiosity had turned invasive, support had become suffocating, and now they needed limits, not because of bitterness but because it was necessary. They explained that from here on they would step away from public displays, stop responding to speculation, and keep their relationship out of the spotlight. Not to disappear, but to protect what was still tender and real. Eun-jin made it clear they would continue their work, continue greeting fans with genuine warmth, but their relationship, she said, belongs only to them, not to the headlines. When asked whether they regretted being open in the first place, Jang Ki-yong answered without hesitation. No, honesty was never the problem, neglecting to protect what truly mattered was. Eun added quietly, now we're choosing to protect each other. As the conference ended, no one rushed forward with shouted questions. The silence that filled the room wasn't uncomfortable, it was full of respect. Outside, their message landed not as scandal, but as something deeply human. And as morning light slowly spread across the city, Eun-jin and Jang Ki-yong walked away together, side by side, not hiding but finally at ease.